Hello dear students, today we'll discuss a very important and interesting topic called the phrasal verbs. Now before learning what phrasal verbs really are, it's important that we know the meanings of verb and preposition and what they're all about. Preposition. A preposition shows the relation between the subject and the object or remaining part in a sentence or of a sentence. A preposition shows the relation or relationship between the subject and the object or remaining part in a sentence. It will be clear with an example. Look at the example that is given below. The book is on the table. The book is on the table. Here, the book is the subject. Now, what is the relationship between the book and the table? Here, the book is on the table. On is the preposition here. Hence, the preposition on tells us about the relationship between the book and the table. Now let us remove the preposition on and read the sentence again. The book is the table. The book is the table. Does it sound correct? No, it sounds absolutely ridiculous. It sounds wrong. The book is the table. The book is the table. Here we cannot understand the relationship between the book and the table. According to this sentence, it means that my book itself is my table. Is it correct? No. Hence, the preposition on is absolutely essential here. Hence, the correct sentence would be the book is on the table. The book is on the table. The preposition on tells us the relationship between the book and the table, that is the subject and the remaining. Now what is a verb? A verb tells us about the action. I repeat, a verb tells us about the action that is happening in the sentence. Look at the example that is given below. Akhila eats chocolates. Akhila eats chocolates. Now what is the action that is happening in this sentence? Eats. So eats is the verb. It is the main verb. Now let us keep aside the concept of main verb and auxiliary verb and let us concentrate on the term verb. Hope you have understood the meaning of a verb and a preposition and where they are used, because the entire concept of a phrasal verb revolves around preposition and verb. Now what is a phrasal verb? A phrasal verb is made up of a verb and a preposition. A phrasal verb is made up of a verb and a preposition. Just now we had discussed the meanings of verb and preposition. Now some grammar books may say a phrasal verb is a combination of a verb and an adverb or a verb and a particle. It depends upon the context. But take it from me, for convenience sake, just remember that a phrasal verb is a combination of a verb and a preposition. It will be easy to remember and understand as well. Now, look at the example that is given below. It will help you understand the concept of phrasal verb well. I'll read the example for you. Pooja ran into her old friend yesterday. Pooja ran into her old friend yesterday. Now you might have guessed the phrasal verb in this sentence. I'll tell you. Ran, that is run is the verb there and into is the preposition. And what do you get when you combine these? You get the phrasal verb. So what is the meaning of run into or ran into? To run into means to meet unexpectedly. To run into means to meet unexpectedly. Now, when a verb and a preposition combine and form a phrasal verb, its meaning changes. I repeat, when a verb and a preposition combine and form a phrasal verb, its meaning changes. So what did you understand from the above sentence? Run into doesn't mean to hit somebody or collide with someone. It is to meet someone accidentally, to meet someone unexpectedly. So run into means to meet someone unexpectedly. Hence, when a verb and a preposition combine to form a phrasal verb, their meaning changes. Its meaning changes. Now just now I told you that a phrasal verb is a combination of a verb and a preposition. Now the main or the $1,000,000 question. Can you make or create your own phrasal verb? Can you make or create your own phrasal verb? Let us assume I like the verb eat and I also like the preposition buy. So can I take eat and can I combine it with buy and make a phrasal verb eat by? Did you ever come across such phrasal verb called eat by? Is it possible to make or create phrasal verbs? The answer is no. You cannot and should not create your own phrasal verbs. I repeat, we cannot and should not create our own phrasal verbs. They have already existed through ages and can be found with their specific meanings in the dictionary. We need to use them depending upon the demand of the context. I repeat, they already exist. You need to refer to a dictionary and depending upon the demand of the context, you need to use them. Now, why do we use these phrasal verbs? We use phrasal verbs basically in the spoken language to bring beauty to the language and also make the sentence easily understandable. As non-native speakers, we don't generally do that, but the native speakers do use these phrasal verbs while they are speaking. Now let us look at a few examples. I'll read them out for you. Look at example number 1. The robbers broke into the house. The robbers broke into the house. Here, broke or break. Broke is the past form. Break is the verb and into is the preposition. Now these two have combined to form a phrasal verb. Now what will be the meaning? To break into means to enter forcibly. Break into means to enter forcibly. The robbers broke into the house. That means the robbers entered forcibly into the house. They might have broken the doors. This is the meaning of the phrasal verb break into. Example number 2. The police are looking into the murder case. The police are looking into the murder case. Now looking into or look into is the phrasal verb here. Look is the verb and into is the preposition. Now what is the meaning of the phrasal verb looking into or look into? To look into something means to investigate. To look into something is to investigate. That means the police are investigating the murder case. Example number 3. The meeting at Patelguda was called off. The meeting at Patelguda was called off. Called off or call off is the phrasal verb. Call is the verb and off, OFF, is the preposition. Now what is the meaning of the phrasal verb call off? To call off something is to cancel. That means the meeting at Patelguda was cancelled. Whatever the reason might be, due to rain or some other circumstances, the meeting was called off. That means the meeting was cancelled. Now you might have got a doubt. Can a phrasal verb have more than one meaning? Can it be used in different contexts with different meanings? I'll give you the answer. Look at the examples on your screen. Example number 1. Our car broke down on the Ibrahimpatnam highway. Our car broke down on the Ibrahimpatnam highway. Now broke down or break down is the phrasal verb there. Break is the verb and down is the preposition or adverb. Now what is the meaning of the sentence? What does it mean when I say our car broke down? It means when we were going on the Ibrahimpatnam highway, our car suddenly stopped working. To break down means to stop working or to come to repair. Now look at the example following that. Shravani broke down when she failed in the exam. Shravani broke down when she failed in the exam. Now what does this mean? Here I have used the same phrasal verb broke down as in the above sentence. In the above sentence it meant to stop working. Then what about the context where Shravani failed in the exam? Does it mean that Shravani stopped working? No. Here broke down or breakdown means to be upset or to cry inconsolably. To break down means to be upset or to cry. That means Shravani cried when she failed in the exam. So did you see? The same phrasal verb break down or broke down in the past tense has got two different meanings depending upon the context. When you are talking about inanimate things, it means to stop working. When you are talking about human beings, it means to get upset or to cry. I'll give you one more example. Look at example number 2. Parents bring up their children with affection. Parents bring up their children with affection. Affection means apyayata. Now what does this mean? Bring up is clearly the phrasal verb there. Bring is the verb and up is the preposition. That means are parents bringing their children from the ground floor to the top floor? No. It means to bring up means to raise. To bring up means to raise. Parents bring up their children with affection. Now look at the example number 2. The employees brought up the issue of transfers. The employees brought up the issue of transfers. Now brought up is the phrasal verb here. I have used the same phrasal verb as the above one. It is in the past form. So does it mean to raise? No. Here the employees mentioned about the transfers while some meeting was going on. So did you see? The same phrasal verb bring up has two meanings. One means to raise someone. The second means to mention. So the same phrasal verb can have or may have two or more meanings depending upon the context. I repeat, the same phrasal verb can have or may have more than one meaning depending upon the context. Now we have seen that a phrasal verb can have more than one meaning depending upon the context. Generally, there are two types of phrasal verbs. Listen very carefully. The first one is inseparable phrasal verb. Inseparable phrasal verb, as the name itself indicates, it means that the phrasal verb cannot be separated. The phrasal verb cannot be separated. Now what should not be separated in a phrasal verb? It means there cannot be any words or word between the verb and the preposition of the phrasal verb. I repeat, you cannot add any word or words between the verb and the preposition of the phrasal verb. Now the example will make it clear. Look at the example that is given below. The robbers broke into the house. The robbers broke into the house. Broke into or break into is the phrasal verb. Break is the verb and into is the preposition. Now, if I read the same sentence as the robbers broke the house into. The robbers broke the house into. Does it sound correct? Doesn't it sound awkward? Yes, you are right. It sounds awkward because I have separated the verb and the preposition, or I have added the word the house in between the verb and the preposition of the phrasal verb. Hence, it makes it incorrect. Such phrasal verbs which cannot be separated, or such phrasal verbs in which no word should be added between the verb and the preposition of the phrasal verb are called as inseparable phrasal verbs. Inseparable phrasal verbs. The second type of phrasal verbs is separable phrasal verbs. It is the exact opposite of inseparable phrasal verbs. It means the phrasal verb can be separated or new word can be added between the verb and the preposition of the phrasal verb. Now look at the example that is given below. Parents bring up their children. Parents bring up their children. In this sentence, bring up is the phrasal verb. Bring is the verb and up is the preposition. Now look at the sentence that is following it. Parents bring their children up. Parents bring their children up. In this sentence, there are the words their children between the verb bring and the preposition up. Even this is a correct sentence because its meaning doesn't change. I repeat, its meaning doesn't change. So such type of phrasal verbs are called separable phrasal verbs. Now I'll do an example from your textbook. It's on page 149. As you can see, there are 10 sentences given and above them 10 phrasal verbs are also given. You need to guess which phrasal verb fits in which sentence. First, I'll read the sentences as they are. Then, I'll read the sentences with the correct phrasal verbs. So, shall I start? 1. The farmer threatened to make his dogs to attack us. 2. I went to the airport to say goodbye to my uncle. 3. We had to wait near the office until it was opened. 4. I fell into a light sleep by the end of the film. 5. New schools are beginning to exist now. 6. We decided to finish the work by 5 p.m. 7. His shoes have become very thin. They are no longer used or no longer useful. It should have been the word there. 8. She left the meeting quickly to pick up her daughter. 9. The wedding is postponed to next month. 10. The bus dashed him and he fell down on the road. Now let us look at the answers. The first sentence. The farmer threatened to set on the dogs. To set on means to make someone attack. 2. I went to the airport to see off my uncle. To see off means to bid farewell. 3. We had to hang around the office until it was opened. Hang around means to wait. 4. I dropped off by the end of the film. Drop off means light sleep. 5. New schools are springing up now. Spring up means to begin to exist. 6. We decided to wind up by 5 p.m. Wind up means to close. 7. His shoes have worn out. They are no longer used or no longer useful. Worn out means to be damaged. 8. She dashed off from the meeting to pick up her daughter. Dash off. To leave in a haste or to leave in a hurry. 9. The wedding is put off to next month. To put off means to postpone. 10. The bus knocked him down and he fell down on the road. Knock down means to dash someone. So this is all about the phrasal verbs. Hope you have understood, students. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, bye.